booties for black girl nerds.
Hi, Diego.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am very good.
You had mentioned in the panel that the first time that you were here in London was in 2016 with Rogue One. So how has it been, like the trajectory of your career since then to now, having this experience? What has that been like for you?
It's been very exciting, you know. I when I did Rogue One, I thought that was it. I thought it was a great opportunity to be part of a universe I care about as audience, and I enjoyed it. But that was it, you know. And since then, many things have happened in my life. Doing Andor has been very special. Getting to work with these people, you know, getting to work closely with Tony Gilroy and the team. It's been fabulous. I've learned so much about it, about the rigor, you know, about also the opportunity we have to leave a stamp in a universe that matters so much to so many. That is something very special, and you don't feel that often, you know. But through these years, I've also done theater. I've also produced. I did a documentary. So gladly, my life is been very productive, and I've been able to tell the stories I want and I care about, you know. So that freedom feels great, and yeah, I feel lucky. And
yeah, you've done a lot more than just Star Wars. And then my second question to you is, with this second season that we're getting, what kind of Cassian will we expect? He looked a little different in the footage that we saw, that last scene at the end. So, is it a different Cassian that we'll see in this?
Well, we'll see a transformation. Yeah, I mean, he ends the first season saying, you know, kill me or take me in. He's ready to become part, but he doesn't speak the language. He doesn't know what he's heading, you know. He doesn't know what's going to be needed from him. There's a big arc still to witness of Cassian in order to get to see the guy who we met in Rogue One, you know. He's gonna change a lot, and he's gonna still witness so many things that are gonna shape his perspective and his need to be part of change, you know.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.
This is going to be this last season for Andor, the second season. Would you say that fans will feel satisfied with this ending? I know that you guys are still in it, you're still filming, but from your take so far, what would you get a sense of how fans will feel about it?
I think so. I really do think so. I think the way that Tony has formatted it for it to sort of jump time in between, I think every character goes through so much in this season and almost transforms into sort of three different versions of themselves because so much time is kind of passing. So I think fans will really get to know their favorite characters so much more in depth because they'll see sort of the growth. I think this season is pretty epic, and I really hope they like it.
And what are you most proud of so far with playing your character?
Oh, I love that I love that Big sort of ended kind of in this really weak place. I think we're used to seeing women go from weak to really strong. And she went from strong to this almost like childlike her. She can speak, she can form a thought, she can barely walk. And that's just exciting for me because for season 2, where does she go now? You know, and we all know that strong women survive and that she'll come back. I don't know how this trauma is going to affect her. I don't know where her journey is going to go, but I think my money's on her.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you everything that happens in season 2.
Oh, give me the exclusive.
Because they left you alone, this is what you get.
This is what I get. Well, Denise, it's a pleasure to speak with you.
You too.
You know, your character in Andor was kind wasn't very guarded, and
I like the way you're saying that.
yeah,
Exactly. She was guarded. She's not a
Guarded.
fascist. She's guarded.
She wasn't very trusting, and for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Is she going to be less guarded and more open in the second season?
They'll kill me. You know this. There's snipers everywhere. I can't say anything. All I will say is that in the first season, I had to set up the first few episodes and get everyone on side.
Right.
So, woman in a man's world, you go, sister, it's gonna be great. We're on your side. And then you go, she's a fascist. So don't. So now everybody knows who she is. So I can just go full Dedra now.
Right.
So that's gonna be fun.
Love that.
It's gonna be fun for everybody. Yeah.
And I know that you're still filming and you're still
Yes.
in it. But what has surprised you most about this character so far?
Oh God. Oh, listen, when anything is this well written, that surprises me. When a female character is this well written, it's surprising, right? Because there's a lot of like, oh, and then she falls in love and everything is fine. This woman is like this creation, shall we call her, rather than like making it a gender thing. It's just so exciting that I get to play someone that has so many facets and that I'm never expected to take the easy way out. It's like there isn't just one way through the character. I can go to a place of complexity in Star Wars. It's so exciting. I'm so lucky. I mean, I have worked quite hard in my life, so I feel like I don't have to go, I'm just so lucky it just happened. But like, yeah, it's years of theater that is, I think, helping make Dedra like particularly villainous.
Do you have a favorite character in the Star Wars universe?
In our show,
In general.
I don't really know it well enough to... But oh God, everyone in my show,
Okay, in your show then.
But I think I can already feel an obsession for whatever Jodie Turner-Smith is going to do.
Yes!
So, because I'm obsessed with her just in life. So,
Facts, me too.
yeah, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that looks pretty...
Yeah, the Acolyte looks good.
It looks good, right?
Yeah.
And also, Akosha?
Oh yeah,
That
Ahsoka.
looks,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
looks really good.
It does. It
There's
does.
just loads of really good women going around, right?
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a good time.
good time
Long
for us.
may we reign.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
talking to
much.
us.
I hope all your friends come back.
Okay.
Sweetie. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Jenny
Very
with
well,
Black Girl
thanks.
Nerd.
Cool.
So your character is very determined and laser focused at everything that he does. So what is it that drives his decisions, do you think?
Well, I think when I was first reading the scripts, and I was talking to Tony Gilroy about the character and, what's his deal? Like, I'd only read maybe one of them. He's like, I'll send you a few more scripts. And I was like, is he good? Is he bad? Where does he end up? What's his arc? I need to know the whole thing, And he's like, look, man, he could go this way. He could go that way. I don't know. And I read maybe 2 or 3 more scripts, and I got to the point where he's lost his job, heads home, and his mother's at the door, slaps him across the face and gives him a hug. And I was like, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. That explains this guy to a T. And that trauma of growing up in that apartment block with, unfortunately, that over-caring mother, but just over-caring in a quite toxic way, shut down his life. And I think he's always kept himself outside of a group. He's always felt he never really belonged. Catherine and I, who plays Edie, Cyril's mother, worked on a really deep history of, what happened to them, what happened to their father, Cyril's father, her husband. And, we created our kind of history. And from that, I think Syril never had the role model that he needed at home. And what was at home was complete restriction. And that started to fuel into his clothing, his tailoring, how he looked, how he presents himself. Everything needed to be regimented and controlled because he had no control over his life, no voice. didn't feel part of society, part of this like larger community of Coruscant, which is quite intense, actually. There's a very deep psychological like wormhole we could go down, but he's really. He's always been apart. He's always felt apart, and I think that's part of his nature. And trust goes into that. He trusts anyone else to do the job better than he can do it, and that determination is out of self-loathing and is out of feeling misunderstood and unappreciated and unloved.
Wow. Now you're still in season 2. You guys are still filming. What have you been most surprised about with your character so far?
Oh, what can I say? Oh my god. I mean, season 2 is just like it just pops off. Everything is like next level. And what intrigued me most about Syril's journey to begin with in season 1 was that in the first 3 episodes he had a complete character arc. It starts out where you think you know where the guy is, tries to go on this mission where he's elevated and he's feeling good, he's slightly doubtful, and then he has a massive fall. And then he spends the rest of the season trying to find his way back. As you're finishing season 1, he's on the way up and he's aligning with Dedra, and they've realized that maybe they could be stronger together. They have the same objective in capturing Cassian, but there's this like twin flame, like kind of like extreme empire love going on there, as in love for the empire. And in season 2, he keeps rising. I think he winds up growing up, actually. And I always saw Syril as this kind of adolescent who's a bit kind of like acting out, misunderstood, prepubescent, doesn't really know who he is. And in season 2, he finds his grounding and finds his feet, and he can like properly go after what he wants. Put it that way.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you talking to Black Girl Nerds.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
day.
you. Pleasure. Yeah.
Hi, Genevieve.
Hi.
My name is Jamie with Black Girl Nerds.
Hi, lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. So, Mothma has had a very interesting trajectory in her role in this season of Andor. What can we expect of her journey in season 2, obviously without spoiling?
Well, obviously, season 1 of Andor sets up all the characters so profoundly. You know who they are, you know what they believe in, you know what drives them. And you also know that each of them, including Mon Mothma, is beautifully textured and really complicated. And so that's what we delve into in season 2. He sets it all up in season 1, and in season 2 it just gets more dangerous, more risky, more emotional, more passionate. And for Mon Mothma in particular, Tony Gilroy set up some complications with her, not just in her work life, but also in her family life, and what she would perhaps have to sacrifice. And that's where we go in season 2.
And also, without spoiling, is there anything that surprised you about Mon Mothma in this second season?
I'm continually surprised. You know, we're filming it at the moment, so I'm right now in it. Each time we get a new script, each time we work together, I am continually surprised by her. I love learning more about her every time we film new scenes, you know, with new characters. Tony's writing is very rich and very detailed, and so you know, there is work to be done when you're working with scripts, and then you prepare. We all do our own work. I have lots of conversations with Tony, and then you get on set and it's like starting all over again. So every day is a surprise, really.